Hello. Today in this video, we are going to discuss asynchronous effects in Salesforce and why we need asynchronous effects and what are the uses of asynchronous effects. First of all, we write Apex programs. Or it is the my Apex program. You can say this is the code which is going to be executed in a single transaction. And let's suppose there in the second step, or you can say second method, there is a huge amount of processing involved. Okay, huge amount of record may be involved, huge amount of calculation, which takes time, which takes some time for processing. Okay, so for the if this going to be happen, then all these methods in a batch, if they are synchronous, then they will run in a single thread. It means that till the if this is second step method will not going to complete, then all the steps which are behind them will never going to start executed till the second step method ends. Okay, so it creates a bad user experience, or you can say if some user is performing any task and somehow if performed there is a task that triggered the that trigger and that invoke any trigger, and due to that trigger there is a process attached with it that basically takes long processing time, and due to which due to the long processing time the user will not be able to do the further task because the processor is currently busy with the processing of this second step, which is not a good experience for the user as well as for the server. So how we handle this? So Apex come with a methodology. Let's say you have a single transaction, or you can say you have a single this methods, and in this method you want a method which takes long processing of time for resources. You want to make this method that this method will only run uh, this method will only run when the resources get available to it, when the resources become free, and it removes its priority from high to low and assign it to a separate queue, assign it to separate queue, or you can say separate thread, which will going to execute whenever the resource is available to that queue. Okay, so it means that all the method which remains synchronous after making this method asynchronous will going to execute first, because the high priority Salesforce server, you can say Salesforce always gives to the method which are synchronously running, so, but not giving to the asynchronous method which we have made. They will always going to be executed whenever the sources will be available to them. So in this case, what happened actually, all the methods which we have marked as asynchronous, then they are going to be assigned to a queue, and whenever the resource is available, then the one by one. Yeah, but is also keep in mind that the order of execution. Salesforce say that Salesforce mentioned everywhere that that execution, the order of execution is not guaranteed the order of queuing, queuing of methods. Okay, so it's never happened. It never guaranteed by Salesforce that the method which is on the number one on the elder one is going to be executed first, and the method which is the latest one is going to be executed last. No, no, it is the possibility according to Salesforce that the last method will execute first and the second method will execute last. Okay, so it is the asynchronous method which create basically, let's suppose if this is a, as we have discussed that this method is a large processing method. Okay, so when we create this method asynchronous, then what happen, the user is doing some work, and this method is actually invocable, but it is not going to be execute till the synchronous method will end its performance. Okay, will end its execution. Okay, so in this case, the all the work, this method and the last from there to there, this method will go to execute it first, because Salesforce gives its preference to these methods as a first before the asynchronous method. So it is the advantage. That's why we use asynchronous method. effects. Okay, and there are basically four methodologies by which we using asynchronous effects. Let me tell you. First one is the future method. First one is future method, and the second one is queueable interface. It's very easy. Let me tell you. You do practice regular, or you can say 2 day. If you give 2 days to the method daily, 1 hour, then you will get all this message on your finger, and you get to know that what method to use when. Okay, and the third one is the first one is future method, second one is the queueable interface, and third one is the batch effects, and fourth one is the scheduled effects. Scheduled effects. Okay, so suppose when to use what. Okay, we generally use first of all discuss the feature method. What is the feature method? Okay, first of all I'm going to discuss about the feature method. Feature method is how we write simple first, as I'm expecting that all of you know that how we write the simple method in any apex class. So we write methods like this public stat. So okay, this is the syntax of writing any method. Just we have to give an annotation feature first. Just at the rate feature. As we give this annotation at the rate feature, then automatically this method will become the feature oh, feature method, which is basically an asynchronous job, or you can say asynchronous method. Leave the job option because we can say it a job. I will tell you how and why, and what is the reason of saying any of the asynchronous method a job. Okay, first of all, let's see this annotation at the rate feature and public static void my method one. And basically, I'm also expecting that you know what is REST API, how to make a call out, what are call outs, no, how to make a call out. No, it's not the requirement how to make a call out, but the only thing you have to, I'm expecting you already know that what is REST API and what is call out. Okay, so whenever we make any call out, whenever we want to make any call out to any external web service, then in that case we cannot do directly with any trigger or with any of the method inside the database. And let me tell you why. Because whenever you put any of the method which basically make a call out to any external service inside the synchronous effect, then Salesforce say that there is a chance, or there not a chance, there will always happen that whenever you create any external call out to any external, whenever you create any external call out to any web service. Okay, so then in that case, that method which is basically making a call out is going to is going to processing till the call out get stops, till the exchange of data between the exchange of services between the APIs, or you can say between the Salesforce and the other server is going to be stopped till then. That's the same reason. That's why we use asynchronous effects, because it take long processing, or it can hold up the other execution of other methods. Okay, so this is the similar reason behind it, why we use feature method to make any call out to any external service. And for any call out, this notation becomes changed, and this notation become like this. And right this, so we have to pass call out equal to true. By default this value is always remain false, and whenever you want to make any call out to any external, make this parameter as 2. Okay, so this become your feature method. And first of all, now let me tell you what is queueable interface. Queueable interface is nothing. It is a interface named by the okay, queueable interface which we have to implement with a single class method. But these methods are always, let me tell you also one difference. These methods both are unique. Okay, where is my pen? This oh, this method, feature method, and queueable interface, these both are similar to each other. Okay, these both are used to make any external call out, or you can say these can be used to make a small processes, small asynchronous processes, the large one like batch effects. Okay, and the difference between them is that the argument here we can in the feature method, there are basically three difference or maybe more, but basic difference the three why to make a general. Okay, so let me tell you. Yeah, well, the difference between them is, let me tell you the first difference. What is the first difference between this feature method and the queueable interface? And the first difference is that here you cannot pass any of the collection of any S object, or you can say any custom object or any of the S object. But you can pass the collection of IDs or primitive data types, all the data types. Here you can pass in the queueable interface. You can use primitive data type as well as list of collections, list of S object collection, custom object, list of custom object, list of standard object. You can use anything inside the queueable. But in the feature method, there are limitation to use the data type inside it. Okay, so the second difference is that the feature method, you cannot call any feature method from any feature method, but you can call any other static method which is a general, which may be the any general method inside our transaction. You can call from here, you can call any other class method from the this feature method, but you cannot call any other feature method from that feature method, which is basically known as the uh, you can say which is basically known as the job chaining. Okay, asynchronous job chaining. But queueable interface you can call from execute method one job to other. Let's suppose there is a job which is basically a queueable job, queueable job is nothing but a class which is implementing this queueable class. Okay, let's suppose there is a I make a class job one which is implementing this same queueable method, and I also make a class two job two. Okay, and this job two is also implementing this method, and I want to call only this method, and I want that after executing this this will automatically call this job to method. But without this is also asynchronous, this is also queueable asynchronous, this is also queueable asynchronous. Whenever I call this job method, then the execute method inside this job one class will going to call this job two class, which is known as this process is known as job chaining. But by using this feature method, we cannot do that. We cannot do job chaining inside the feature method. One feature method can never call any of the other feature method. But but you can say the queueable, or you can say the queueable job class. Okay, can call other queueable job class. Okay, this is the basic advantage, and how to write any of the. First of all, let me go to my Salesforce org and open my org. Going to open my son org. developer console. Okay. Oh, so let me make any. I have demo class. Create any queueable demo. Okay. So I'm going to create a class which basically implement this queue demo that I'm going to implement this. I'm going to in this queueable interface. There is basically a queueable demo line. Will take you to even yes to a BID. Yeah, you BID queueable. Okay. No, I'm not sure any error. Okay. Uh, yeah, you have to keep in mind that let's suppose in this queueable class, first of all, show you the demo of feature method. After that, I'm going to give you the demo of feature. First of all, feature public. Decided I'm going to pass my ID. Let's suppose get that. I cannot give any of the S object, or you can just say collection of S object or any single S object. Okay, but I can give the ID which I'm giving currently this identity valid character. And sorry, I haven't given this. Suppose if this method is taking the ID of the method, whatever be the ID, let's suppose I want to fetch all the records related to this stuff ID which present inside this list. That's the account of list equals to write as ID where ID this is my SFL, which basically fetching the all the account records, uh, which have ID inside this list, which I'm passing as an argument, and I can perform any of the. Let's suppose I'm performing any of the ACC for ACC list description. The, you can say all the I. all the ID which I have passed in this list as an argument, all the records, all the account records which related to those IDs will going to change in their fields, name description with the value hello. Okay, this is our requirement. And there is also a similar method here. Let me show you the basic difference that how this is different. Let's suppose there is a single method. There is a simple method here. My math. This is my one method is doing nothing. This method is just for demo purpose. I am showing you. Trade number, trade one, leave it at trade one. This is my simple method, and this is my feature method. We call it feature async. Okay, and if I save this code and open my anonymous window, after opening my anonymous window, I call all this method and show you. Okay, first of all, let me make any other method also. One more method, which is also going to, this method name is method 2, and I just want to show you how this trading process or how asynchronous method perform their function. Okay, so type any of the string. I am from type here in grade one, and after this, take it, leave it. Okay, leave it. Leave this as well. This is asynchronous method, but it is not taking any argument. One dot site table. I'm just passing hello. Site passing. Save it. Open my asynchronous. Showing me a okay semicolon. Save. This is the class name. Showing me another from thread method one to my method. Okay, but why it is showing me something going on line number 17? See any Queueable demo one line number 17 extra this, and what is extra here? Nothing. Change my name. Save it. Okay, one extra. Let me call all these methods one by one and show you how the threading, how multi-threading is work inside this, and one. Okay, and dot this my method. Okay, all the three methods are called by this. So now we will show that how this. Uh, First of all, let me delete it. Clear all logs. Clear log panel. Okay, all the logs delete it and let me call it again and let me show you how this process is going to be handled. Yeah, you can see here there are two logs get generated after I call all the methods of this class, and inside this we have two tables. Let me show you. I am from thread 1, I am from thread 1. These are from the these matlab I'm calling this method in a single transaction by using a anonymous window. But actually, what happened? I make this method as future method. If it is called by any of the method inside this synchronous process or in a synchronous transaction in a single transaction, but it will never going to execute in a single. You can say in a single frame, or you can say in a single thread, or in a single. It will run independently. On it will run after the execution of this method. So first the these two method executes, and then after that that feature method, or you can say asynchronous method, is executed in a separate thread. Okay, so if we see this we see the logs of this method, this so then it is printed differently from these other two logs. This is the simple method, and now let me show you how the Queueable interface and what is Queueable interface and how it is work. So for Queueable interface, first of all, we have to implement the class, implement this class which is known as Queueable. After implementing this class, there is a method implements. Spelling is wrong. After implementing this class, there is a method execute which is always present, and you have to call that method every time uh, whenever you creating any of the queueable effects, whenever you creating any of the queueable interface. Okay, that's any of the assembly. There is no not any kind of notation inside it like feature method which we have seen just, but there is a method called my execute. Oh, sorry, execute, and inside that method it take only one argument, which is, let me first all this method. Pick, don't have to write any of the return type. Write execute, and inside it queueable of context. Must implement the method. Okay, static is not allowed in constructor. What is the problem inside this line one? Queueable execute.